Hello, good evening everybody, and welcome to the Ultimate Formula. Welcome back to the Weekend League for round 2 of the F2 World Championship, and we are at Zandvoort in the Netherlands tonight. In the Netherlands? Did I say that right? Did I say Netherlands? Or Netherlands? Anyway, we're in the Netherlands, and it is one-shot quali, so for the feature race. So I'm going to try and stay as on board with this as I can and follow the quickest lap. So once all the points were added up from last week, Beefs is your championship leader as we stand with 48 points, just a point ahead of Eden, who is a point ahead of Luca. So just waiting for the boys to chuck in their setups, and here we go then. 15 runners tonight. We'll see who will be in front come turn 1. It all looks pretty close so far. I believe Beefs at the moment, they're Fanatic. Oh, and we got TT retiring already. Beefs then taking the early lead. He's now replaced by Luca. I think he's made a mistake. But it's still pretty close and chopping and changing between the front 3 or 4. Beef's still in the lead on this one-shot qualifying as we come around the twisty section, and then we have the long right-hander. So nice to drive this one. Beef's still in the lead then. And he and Boogeyman are now swapping places. Looks pretty tight, but we've got 2 retirements so far from the qualifying session, that being TT and Waitsy. Beefs rides the curb a little bit, and well, that initially allowed Luca to get back into P1, but Beefs has managed to recover it. It's really close so far as we approach the last corner. You'll want to stay a little bit left in the race before you lose the back end there, but it looks like the Boogeyman's come out of nowhere and has taken pole by a 10th over Beefs, and the 10th then back to Luca and Julian, and then there's quite a big gap back to Jag Kings. Fanatic was disqualified from the session. So there we go then, it's over that quickly. Wow. 0.017 was the gap between Boogeyman and Beefs, so Boogeyman gets himself 3 extra points, not 4, which is our rule for pole position. Luca then 3rd, Julian, Jag, Sir Gwyneth, Pricey, Trunders, Shay, Stu and Backmarker. Backmarker did his qualifying lap on the mediums. There we go, Eden and Fanatic were disqualified, and TT and Waitsy invalidated their lap times. And those one-shot qualifyings are pretty hard to follow, to be honest, because everything happens so fast, and the F1 menus can't quite keep up. But drop a little message in the chat, guys, if you are watching. If you are dropping your predictions, let us know who you fancy for the win. We got Old Man Barry joining the session late, and we see what happened last week with a late joiner, so let's hope this doesn't plague the lobby. He's left the session now, so remains to be seen what happens with that. Hopefully everything will be fine. There we go then, so we're off for the formation. Let's quickly have a look at the tyres the boys are wearing and get all the telemetry up. So everyone gone for the softs except Luca, Julian, Pricey and Waitsy, who have opted to start on the medium tyre. The Boogeyman getting a fast getaway. Beef's hanging back a little bit. Boogeyman might want to slow down. His tyres will get increasingly cold though if he doesn't. This formation lap after such a fast start to the session is a bit anticlimactic. You get your pulses running for a minute and a half for the qualifying run, and then you got to watch these guys tiptoe around the formation. But the Boogeyman is on the pit straight now, and he has, as I said, he has raced off really. Quinn and Jag have had a little tangle, so these guys' tyres are going to be a little bit colder off the start, so that might give Beefs the advantage going into turn 1. As we got more cars, it's Pricey, surprise surprise, holding the guys up as well further back. A little bit of sportsmanship or gamesmanship going on towards the mid-pack. But Waitsy takes his spot in P15 as the last runner. And there we go then, 3 lights, 4 lights and 5. And we're off for the feature racings and 4th. Beefs looks like he gets a little bit of a better launch than the Boogeyman, but the Boogeyman stayed in P1 and he will go into turn 1 in the lead. We've already got the glitch going on with the timing screen, so positions will chop and change. Luca and Julian have also held position in 3rd and 4th, and Jag I think has made a couple of moves. We've got backmarker running wide just in the background there. And he's popped himself back up ahead of Pricey. Stu then looking for a move on the inside of Shea, but can't do anything. Got plenty of ghosting going on at the moment whilst this lobby sorts itself out. Fnatic throws one up on the inside of Waitsy, and Waitsy's got TT on his inside as well. So he might have had a good start, but he's... oh yeah, and he's got back past TT, so it's back on board with Boogeyman. Timing screen has sorted itself out, so Trunder's up 1, back marker. Even though he went wide, managed to scoop up 3 places in the opening lap. Pricey's dropped 2, and then a couple more movements in the mid-pack. So we're 1 to 4, and that's a beautiful shot. 1 to 4 of Dutch drivers at the moment. As the timing screen has yet another moment, which is unfortunate. Saying that Beefs is dropping further back, but he's not. Were there any other moves? Ooh, Quinn runs a bit wide. Trunders has a little look up the inside. But isn't close enough to make a move in his teammate. Oh, he's not a teammate, sorry. Bit all over the shop at the moment with these timing screens and everything. The lap count, of course, is wrong as well, so this isn't helping anybody out. But here we go, we're back as it should be, and Beefs has a little wobble. We got yellow flags in sector 2. Who's at the moment there then? That looks like Waitsy, is it? Yeah, Waitsy's had a spin, I think. Looks as though his wing's okay, or is the right end plate gone? He may have had a tangle on the wall there. And there's a whole host of cars behind Pricey. I'm not sure if Pricey's got a bit of wing damage as well, as we've got yellow flags in sector 3 now and Stu's out. The Boogeyman sets the fastest lap at the 121.3. There's no moves between the front four as it stands. Oh, we got a bit of battle in here though, as Fanatic gets himself past Pricey. So I'm not sure if Pricey's got some damage, because he was holding up, he doesn't look like. There was a train starting to form. I believe he's running no assists tonight, so that might be why he's struggling a little bit as he tries to get to grips with that. Alright, here we go then. So Luca right up Beef's tailpipe. He's dropped Julian a little bit as well, so Julian's out of Luca's DRS and Beef's is out of Boogeyman, so we might see a move coming into turn 1 here from Luca. Moves over to the left, DRS activated, he's in the slipstream. 121.1 is the fastest lap from Boogeyman, who's created a gap, and Luca up the inside. Will Beefs be able to come back at him? No, he won't. We've got a couple of moves elsewhere then, so Fanatics managed to get himself past back marker. Shea's got back Pricey by Pricey. Pricey's coming back. Shea gets the move done. We've got Waitsy and TT still going at it as Waitsy gets past, but TT looks as if he's got a better line coming out of turn 1. Oh, there's a little bit of a touch. TT goes up the inside. Yeah, gets a tyre on the grass, but manages to keep it out of the wall, and Waitsy gets the position. Eden, we've seen him have so much pace last week in Mexico, struggling at the moment down in P12. His qualifyings and the features really not helping him. We got Quinn. Oh no, Quinn had such a good start. He was up in P6. Good qualifying, a good race so far. Now he's absolutely binned it into the wall. I don't know if that was an instant maybe with Jag or Trunders, who he was stuck between at the time. We're back on board now though with Beefs, who's within the DRS range of Luca. Julian's managed to get himself into the DRS range, or he did at least, of Beefs, but isn't anymore. So the last lap we've seen Luca make a move on Beefs here into turn 1. Can Beefs now repay it? A lap later, he's not close enough as it stands, and nope. So Luca stays ahead. Trunder's now with his teammate in behind him. Fanatic up 6 places from the start. He's had a very good start, showing some nice pace. He was showed some nice pace last week also. Can he get past? Of course, Zandvoort extremely narrow. Oh, and Trunders has a moment, gets on the curb. Oh, and 3 cars managed to dodge that. Oh, Trunders had a moment there. Fanatic drove straight into him. May have got himself some wing damage. Shea looks up on the inside of back marker. The back marker keeps the place. Shea gonna throw up on the inside again. They have a little touch. Back marker keeps P6. Oh, and Pricey sent Fanatic for a spin. Absolute horrible few corners then for Fanatic. I'm not sure if it was due to the contact or whether it was the traction. Either way, Fanatic, after making contact with his spinning teammate, ended up losing 2 further positions, and has now gone in a tango with Pricey and lost that position also. Eden's got himself up in the P9 quietly, with a few guys behind him having issues. He's going to throw one late up on the inside of Pricey. Pricey's got better traction coming out of turn 1. And for the moment he keeps P8, but that was a lovely optimistic move from Eden. Pricey locking up. We've got Waitsy and Fanatic both coming into the pits. Waitsy of course did start on the medium tyre. And Stu saying he got Was he glued to the barrier, he said, so that's extremely unlucky for him. We missed that action. We're back on board now though with the action up front, and once again Julian has closed the gap to Beefs up in front. Eden's finally got to move on. Pricey, is Pricey at the moment? Yeah, he's gone wide. He's in the gravel and backwards, so again we don't know if there's been an incident or whether that was driver error. Pricey back down now into P10 as Trunders and Eden get past. And we get on board with Julian as we come down the pit straight. Sets the fastest lap of the third sector, but can't get past as Beefs picks up DRS from Luca also. The Boogeyman currently with a 2.5 second gap out in front. And as Jag Kings comes into the pits as well, so he's going early to get rid of these softs and put on a set of mediums to the end. Of course, Luca and Julian are on mediums, so they may come quicker towards the end of the race. Julian with DRS took a very nice line out there. Beefs looked like he struggled a little bit, but there's not enough room to get a move done here, even with DRS. Oh, and Julian has a moment coming out of the chicane. And that's unfortunate, really, because... was a hairpin, sorry. That was unfortunate because Beefs was dropped from Luca's DRS, and Julian probably would have had a move coming up here into turn 1, but as it stands now he's going to have to settle for 4th. There's still a big gap. Back to back marker in P5. And Shea's got DRS, back marker moves defensive. And Shea's just going to have to follow him through at the moment. These F2 cars look so much fun. Oh, Shea nearly loses the back end. Yellow flags in sector 2 seems to have been cleared pretty quickly. And none of the guys out front currently within DRS range as Boogeyman comes in from the lead, and he gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Oh, and Shea goes into the wall. Got on the power too early. Beefs is in as well. Shea will almost certainly follow through, as does Backmarker. And Backmarker picks up a 5-second time penalty as well, so Luca and Julian then promoted into P1 and P2. Eden stays out for another lap. We've got the Boogeyman, Beefs and Backmarker all out on medium tyres. Shea also, Jag Kings of course pitted just a lap before. Pricey's also stayed out, he's still got medium tyres on. And Quinn's down in P8 also with his soft tyres, so just Quinn and Eden left the pit then for the soft brothers. Oh, Pricey has a wobble, and that's the second time we've seen Pricey in that section get it all wrong. He's luckily managed to get it back on the track, but he's really struggling so far. As we reach halfway distance, and F1 Arctic gets himself past Shea, who's had another moment as well. Oh my god, these guys really struggling to keep it on the road tonight. We've seen a lot of instances as Julian, Luca and Eden all come into the pits. Boogeyman, ooh, already back up in a P1, but that gap between himself and Luca has been cut as Quinn picks up a 5-second time penalty as well. Some of these boys really struggling with this pit lane and slowing down for it. So it's as you were in the first five, sorry. Pricey's currently P6, but he's got a pit, and after some of his woes, I think he's going to struggle to come out anywhere before P13, to be honest. TT looks as if he's on AI, unless it's because he's lapped. Yeah, I think he's racing. So that is everybody other than Pricey then that's pitted. And the closest battle, ooh, Julian and Beefs, but Luca's right up behind Boogeyman as well for the lead. We've got yellow flags again in sector 3, and that's Beefs. Oh, Beefs and Julian have had a tangle, and Jag Kings has got through. So Jag Kings then, by pitting a lap earlier, has been very optimistic. Julian and Beefs have had a little tangle, I believe, and that's allowed Jag to come through. Luca still can't get past Boogeyman into turn 1. Let's have a look then. Beefs on the inside. Julian locks up. Can Beef sneak one on the inside? No, he can't. Wow. Right, okay. Let's have a look at weight C. Doesn't look to be close enough. He will get DRS, but no, he's not close enough yet to Quinn, even on the faster tyre. And Jag looks like he's had a bit of a moment as well, because he's lost positions to both Julian and Beef. So the battle for the last podium position is really heating up. Luca's still over the back of Boogeyman. He will get DRS again. Seems to be one of the most pointless DRS zones I've ever seen, to be honest. I don't even think that would assist you much if you were racing go-karts around here. But there we are. Here we go then. Is this where the battle for the lead changes? Boogeyman moves over defensively to the right. Luca sets the fast slap, the 21 flat. He's going to have to go the long way round. Boogeyman holds in nicely up on the inside as Julian sets a fast slap with the 125, but Luca manages to make the move and gets himself up in a P1. Julian a further 6.2 seconds back before he can get involved for this battle. And again, it's as you were. Pricey still going long on these medium tyres. And he's got the lap TT at the back of him. Now it must be so frustrating for TT, who's going to have to sit behind or continue to get blue flags. Things seem to have settled themselves down a little bit. And Lucas sets the fastest lap of the 124. Boogeyman with DRS can't get anywhere near. Julian goes a tenth quicker as these two trade blows in the fastest lap regard. Julian though still with a big gap to make up. He once again involved with that battle. As we see Pricey finally coming in and checking some softs on. And I imagine that will be P13 at best, maybe P14, maybe P12, sorry, for Pricey. Or will he get out before Shea? Yeah, it looks like he will. And he does his weights, he's back in the pits, so I'm not sure if his tyres are that dead or if he's just had a moment there. Yeah, he's lost his wing again. So it's a wing change for Waitsy, not the best opening race for him. He'd be hoping for better. Oh, there's a battle going on. As Luca does a 121, there's a... I think there's a bit of chopping and changing there. Did Quinn have another moment then? Shea's got past. He was running in P10, Quinn. So I think he's gone wide again and lost positions to both Shea and Pricey. We are now with 5 laps to go, seeing some significant gaps across the field. Luca's coming up to lap Waitsy then. So a tough feature race so far for Waitsy. As we said, he'd be hoping for a lot better in the sprint race, and certainly a lot better than last week. Beef's your current championship leader, currently down in P4 and losing ground really to the top 3. And we've got Jag in P5, who's raced a solid race so far. Kept his nose clean for the large part. Back marker also. In comes his teammate Eden, who must be kicking himself with his qualifying performances so far, because as I said, his race pace has been fantastic, especially last week, and he showed some decent speed here today, but as I said, the gaps are really big now, and P7 may be the best he can hope for. If you are watching, guys, you are in chat, just say something, please. Help me. Yes, Jamesy, thank you very much. You ask for, you get what you ask for, I suppose. Yeah, Stu. It's, ooh, look at the sky. I mean, if it was to start lashing down right now, we might get a bit more excitement in the last couple of laps, but it looks like it's come out way too late if it's going to rain at all. It would be nice if we did see a bit of rain here. Because as it stands, we're going to get a very boring last 3 laps. The start of the race at least was extremely eventful. We've seen Julian have a couple of moments. We've seen, oh god, who else? Trunders have a moment, which during Fanatics challenge. We've seen Pricey have a couple of moments, Shea have a couple of moments, Quinn have a couple of moments, Waitsy's been in for a wing change. Stu's obviously retired. I don't really know what's happened to TT, but 54 seconds off the man in P13 would probably suggest he's had a couple of moments as well. There are a couple of guys with penalties, but even that's not really much to get excited about as the gaps aren't closing, so Julian might fancy a P2 off the boogeyman. Let's have a look quickly at the penalties. Oh yeah. So there are a couple of things to keep in mind, and of course we did have these guys getting 5-second penalties for speeding in the pit lanes, and as we say it, Julian's into that 5-second gap, even just outside of back markers, and waits a long way off Quinn's. Yeah, back marker in Eden with 5 gained. I do think F-Fanatic, if he hadn't had that instant with Trunders, would be even bigger than the 4 he's got now. And Quinn, as we said, after a great qualifying and a nice start to the race, had a couple of moments and was dropped 6, but we are now on to the final lap of the race. Luca leads by 2.1 seconds to the boogeyman, who is 4.5 ahead of Julian, but does have a 5-second time penalty. So we need to find 5 tenths in this last lap if he wants to keep P2. And as things stand, Trunders will be starting the sprint race from P1 unless F-Fanatic can make up the 1.6 seconds he is behind on this final lap. The boogeyman is slightly closing the gap to Luca ahead, but he's not really pulling away from Julian in behind. Luca's tyres may be starting to drop off just a little bit. But here we go, around the last couple of corners. And a bit of weaving from Luca as he takes over the lead of the championship now. Boogeyman does cross the line in P2, but drops to P3 as Julian's promoted. Then we got Beefs with another solid performance coming on in P4. Jag with another solid performance as well from him. Comes home in P5. Back marker, I believe will keep P6, he does. Great ride from him. Eden then in 7th. And Trunders manages to keep F-Fanatic behind him and will start P1 in the sprint race. Pricey comes on with P10. Real tough race for Pricey tonight. He's actually not coming up as classified. There we go, now he is. Shea gets 11th. Quinn will come home in P12. Lovely stuff. Waity will be the last one across the line as TT's been lapped. And a round of applause please for Stu, who did not leave the session tonight. Thank you, Stu. Right, that's the feature done then, guys. As we said, the first half of the race was extremely exciting. The second half not so much after the pit stops and everything seemed to settle down a little bit. Waitie's not happy with himself, but if we keep ahead, there's another race to go. As Luca celebrates the win. So once again then, final classification, Luca does get the win and fastest lap, so 3 bonus points will be awarded to Luca there. Julian comes home in P2, Boogeyman P3 will get 3 bonus for pole position. Beefs in 4th, Jag 5th, Backmarker, Eden Trunders, F Fanatic, Pricey, Shea, Quinn, Waitsy and TT. Stu of course did not classify, so will not get any points from the session. The top 8 of course will now be in reverse order for the sprint race, and that shall start very soon. She just dropped in. Those mediums were horrible. It was horrible to watch that second stint, to be honest. Oh, and we've got some rain. Oh, here we go. Right. Well, that's perked me up a little bit. Still have 15 runners, and let's see, can we see anything to suggest it's going to be inters or wets? Mini Meerkat God joins 45 minutes late, unlucky. Again, I hope that doesn't mess up the session. I believe he's joined too late for it to affect it. Yeah, I thought you'd. I thought so, mate. Yeah, it's 8 o'clock for the weekend league. So it is full wet conditions then. Yeah, everyone on the full wets. So I know some of the boys have slammed in some extra practice for this F2 Championship this week. I wonder how many of them have got some wet practice on board. Pricey and Shea getting disqualified, so I'm not sure if that was a bit of contact. It's not going to be great for these two starting on cold wet tyres. Stu hoping to stay in touch this race. TT as well, hoping for a better one. And Waitsy. As Trundles holds up the pack. As we come to the last couple of corners to get the sprint race away. And there we have it, the grid is formed. We've got 2, 3, 4 and 5 lights then. Let's see how these boys at the front get off the line. Both the top two seem to have a decent start. Oh, and then a little wobble from Trunders, which does allow Eden to throw one up on the inside. We've got Backmarker's got himself through as well, and Boogeyman looks as if he's had a big jump off the start. So Eden then into P1, and Trunders has managed to get back ahead of Backmarker, who's dropped quite a few places then. Lost out to Julian and Beefs there at turn 1. Of course, we are working again with this bugged timing screen, so we'll try and do the best as we can as it tries to sort itself out. And Julian's gone wide, and so is Jag. Jag's into the wall, and he's got really bad wing damage. Of course, the top 10 will only score points in the sprint race. Stu at the back as well, and he's going wide. And Quinn's at a moment as well. Let's get on board with some of this battling as Luca's right behind Boogeyman. Got Beefs as well up on the back of Trunders. So Trunders did lose the place to Eden, but it's had a good start, and Backmarker's got back past Beefs, so he's back up in a P3. Then comes the Boogeyman, then Luca, then Fnatic, then Shay, then TT. He's had a big start with 5 places gained. Of course, some of that is due to some of these guys having horrible moments, as Luca's looking up the inside of Fnatic, but Fnatic looks as if he's going to try and hold it around the outside, and does. No grip there for Luca on the inside. Oh, it's just a timing glitch. I thought Eden had a moment there. Oh, and Backmarker's gone wide, and he's tangled with Beefs on the exit of turn 1, and Backmarker's turned round. Oh, he had such a good race, man. But that could be his session. Absolutely over. Eden disappearing into the sunset. Well, not quite the sun, but with TT getting a 3-second time penalty for ignoring yellow flags. We'll wait and see what that is. The Boogeyman though trying to close down Trunders in P2 as we got Waity retiring as well. Yeah, he's in the gravel. Beefs again going wide, and Pricey's going to throw one up on the inside. And Pricey moves himself up in a P7. Ooh, has a bit of a wobble though, that may allow Beefs back up. They have a bit of a touch. Is Beefs going to throw it here into the chicane? Pricey keeps the position. As the Boogeyman all over the back of Trunders with their Fnatic lurking in just behind. We got yellow flags once again in sector 2 and 3. I think that might be Julian again. Their Fnatic. Oh, they have a more touch. Fnatic there, run into Julian's car, and the Boogeyman sets a fast slap at 137. So he's gone for a spin. He's a real unfortunate race tonight. And Pricey's looking up the inside of Beefs once again. And we got Quinn, was that Quinn? No, it's TT going wide on turn 1. And Pricey keeps the position this time. Stu's retired, so that's a terrible evening for Stu. No points to show for his work. And finally we've got correct timing screens, and just shy of 4 seconds is the lead for Eden, who looks to win back-to-back sprint races. Boogeyman lurking in behind Trunders. If these boys play this safe, they can both walk away from this with a podium. Luca a further 2.7 seconds behind Shay, closing the gap then in P5. Beefs has managed to get himself back past Price. He needs to have an hell of a battle for P6. TT then in P8, then comes Quinn, and then Jags managed to recover back up in a P10 as it stands. Julian then with a horrible race so far down in P11. Fnatic did come in for a fresh set of tyres. I'm not sure if he had a new nose as well, and Backmarker's kept going, which is also great to see. But there's a long way back for him now. Let's go on board then with Boogeyman and see if he can make a move as Eden sets the fastest lap of the 1:31.6. Trunders. Oh, he gets really close into turn 1. But Trunders defends it well. And he keeps P2. TT going wide again then, but Quinn getting too excited on the accelerator and starts drifting. Both these guys look as if they're struggling, and Boogeyman and Trunders are swapping positions. Boogeyman might try and throw one up the inside, but as we said, this track is so narrow. You are really limited with your overtaking spots. Ooh, when is Boogeyman going to look to throw one around the outside? No, he's not. He's trying to get back to the inside, but Trunders had covered it off. And this battling is allowing Luca to come back into the picture in just a second now, off Boogeyman in P3. And Luca has dropped Shea a little bit. Oh, Shea overshoots his braking. And Beefs has managed to drop Pricey as well, and might fancy his chances of closing that gap to Shea ahead. Boogeyman in the slipstream trying to pull out, but he just hasn't got the straight line speed. Luca sets the fastest lap. Boogeyman looks as if he's going to brake late. That Trunders turns in, as does Boogeyman. They're side by side. Boogeyman with his nose just ahead. They're going to have to watch that they don't collide. Trunders gets on the curb a little bit, but they both manage to keep the car on the road. And Boogeyman gets P2, but runs a bit wide here. Trunders might have a look back on the inside. They have a touch and a little wobble from Trunders, and I think he's going to lose the position to Luca here, and he does. So gutting for Trunders. But there's still 2.5 laps left here for him to try and get that podium back. Fanatic sets the fastest lap with 1:31 down in P12. Not enough for him at the moment. Needs to get himself into that top 10 to get the bonus point. Julian's now into the top 10, and he's hunting down Jag Kings and TT ahead. Oh, Jag runs a little bit wide, and Julian says thank you very much, but Jag comes back at him on the outside, but he hasn't got a grip, and Julian gets through as Beefs gets himself past Shea, and Quinn gets himself. Not Quinn and Jag are having a bit of a battle. So yeah, Beefs now moves himself up in a P5. Shea drops down into P6. And Quinn and Jag did swap places. Quinn's going to look up on the inside. Takes a late lunge into the chicane and manages to get the position. So Quinn at the moment with the final point. And Julian fancies a few more points here as he's right at the back of TT. TT really struggling for downforce and grip around that final corner. Has Julian got the straight line speed? Can he throw one up the inside of turn 1? Doesn't go too aggressively, but TT outbreaks himself yet again. And Julian gets the better exit, and TT can't fight it back, and there we go up in a P8. Next up then for Julian will be Pricey in P7. And Pricey runs wide as well and might allow Julian a move. Not quite yet. Maybe now. Up on the inside. Can Pricey fight it back? Absolutely not. Oh, he throws one up on the inside though. That looked like a bit of optimism, but he can't get it done. And Julian moves himself up in a P7. There's yellow flags, as that's Jag Kings, I think. Yeah, Jag's had a spin. And that's him out of the points for the time being. And Beefs is now closing down Trunders, so Beefs with a decent recovery. We're into the final lap. Eden in a race on his own at the moment, and that's Fanatics had a spin, has he? Yes, he has. So if the top 10 as it stands can keep keep it clean, they all will score because the gaps are very big to the guys in behind. The Boogeyman's got Eden's lead down to 1.9 seconds. But Eden looks extremely comfortable out in front. Boogeyman's managed to drop Luca again now that he's got himself past Trunders, and Trunders with beefs all over the back of him. Ooh, gets on the curb. And has a wobble, but he manages to keep all 4 tyres on the road. Beefs, is he going to throw it up the inside? No. The Boogeyman is closing this gap now to Eden out front. But he's not going to be close enough. And here we go then, onto the back straight, onto the pit straight. And Eden comes home to win yet again, another sprint race. The Boogeyman comes home in P2. Luca gets P3, so 2 podiums tonight for the Boogeyman and Luca. Trunders, fantastic job in P4. Beefs gets P5. Shay comes home in P6. Julian, with a great recovery, comes home to take P7. Pricey then in 8th. Quinn gets 9th, and TT will get the final point and gives us a little show at the end. Jag Kings, great feature race, unfortunate really in this sprint, comes on P11. Fnatic also had a lot more pace than I think his results showed tonight. Did take the fastest lap, but won't get any points for it. Backmarker also a lovely feature race, was very unfortunate to have a little bit of a tango in the sprint. Well, and that's that then guys. A thrilling bit of racing for the F2 Championship, barring the tail end of the feature race. But Eden wins the sprint for the 2nd week running. And your final classification then for the sprint race is Eden in P1, Boogeyman P2. Luca actually stole that fastest lap from Fnatic, so didn't. Fnatic did get it. So no bonus point for Luca. Trunders comes home in P4, Beefs in P5, Shay in P6, Julian gets 7th, Pricey gets 8th, Quinn gets 9th, and TT will get the final point in 10th. Jag, Fnatic and Backmarker classified. Stu and Waitsy did not finish. That's been Zandvoort then guys, the Netherlands Grand Prix round 2 of this F2 World Championship. We'll be back again next Sunday for round 3. We're back of course tomorrow as ever with the Ultimate Formula TUF 1, 9 o'clock. We're at Spain, we're in France tomorrow, and Wednesday night we're in Spain for the conclusion of the TUF 2 World Championship. Don't forget to drop us a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and we'll catch you guys down the road. Take care. Bye bye.